Hey YouTube, what's going on today? Hope everyone's having a great Sunday so far. Today I thought we'd do a video for you, giving you a tour around my '06 Silverado. That way, in case you guys were thinking about buying a similar model, you guys would know what to look for and all the different trim levels and all that sort of fun stuff. So let's get started. So looking on the front of the truck, what distinguishes an '06 and an '07 Classic from the '03 through '05s is the grille. They redesigned the grille on this guy. On the older ones, the chrome on the grille actually runs all the way out here in between the headlights. On the '06 and '07 Classic, they actually had a plastic piece that's color matched to the vehicle in between them. So I kind of like that. Sorry about the car noise there. I kind of like that a little bit better than the older style. And you also get an HD hood, which is what sold me on the '06, and I'll show you guys. Whenever you sit inside, you can really see it and it looks really good, but it's just got a more aggressive look. You can see here it actually goes up here, up higher on the hood here. But anyways, that's why I went with an '06 over the '05 or older. But pretty much the '03 through '07 Classic, pretty much the same vehicle, not a whole lot different. But we'll do a quick tour around this guy. Only modifications that I've done to it are a cold air intake and a rough country leveling kit. It's got 17-inch aluminum wheels from the factory, and I've got Hankook Dynapro ATMs on it. Sorry, the truck's kind of dirty today. Z71 package. It's extended cab. We'll just do a quick walk around, that way you guys can see it. I've owned the truck for 3 years now, and whenever I bought it, it did have an aftermarket exhaust that I was not crazy about. So I went with something closer to stock, so that's why the tailpipe looks a little newer and not rusty or anything like that. But here's just a quick run around of the outside of what it looks like. And I guess I should mention too that the grill, I did not put that on. I purchased it like that as well, so I guess that's aftermarket. So let's take a look at the inside real quick. I'll show you the back seat, the extended cab model. So as you can see here, we're not dealing with just a ton of room. So if you guys are looking to buy one of these and you have children, I would recommend to go ahead and get the crew cab. Car seats would be a pain to get in and out of here. And if you are carrying more than 2 people up front and have people in back riding regularly or for long distances, I'd say go ahead and get the crew cab once again. But as far as short distances, it's not terrible. And my dad had one of these whenever I was growing up. His was a 2000 model, and you know, we grew up just fine and didn't have any issues as a kid back here, but still, just for convenience sake, it is a lot better to have the crew cab. So let me climb up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. In the back, one thing that I wish I had as a kid was this right here. We've got air vents in the back, so you can turn this on or off, and that way you get a little air, hot, cold, whatever it is, coming from it up front. We've got some pockets back here, and as you guys can see, I am just shy of 6 foot tall, and my knees are right in the back of this seat, and that's actually where I keep the seat whenever I'm driving it. So we've got a pocket over here. The bench seat does actually fold up, so you can put storage under here. We've also got some cup holders that flip down. Don't know if you can see that well on camera or not, but we can also flip them up. That way we have a passenger seat in the middle here. Let me show you guys the windows. Oh, we've also got storage compartments. Never leave home without your duct tape or WD-40, right? Window flips out like this, so you can get a little air in there. It's got doors on both sides, suicide doors. Let's climb up front. I can give you a little tour of the front. So this one here, before I get too far into it, this is the 2LT model. I believe there's the work truck 1LT, 2LT, and the 3LT, and I'll kind of explain those differences here in a little bit. But in this guy, we've got some power windows, power locks. We've also got power mirrors on the side. They're also heated, really like that in winter, so you know, if you get frost on there or whatnot, you can melt that right off. We've got our, hopefully you guys can see this okay, we've got our headlamp controls, which are automatic, which is really nice. Dome override, our cluster brightness switch, fog lights, our cargo light, and then of course our 4-wheel drive selector. It's got the auto feature in this guy here. We've got steering wheel controls, which that is something the 2LT and 3LT have. I believe the 1LT and work trucks don't have that. Of course, our gauge clusters up there. Let me see if I've got my keys so I can turn this guy on. You guys can see a little bit about it. There we go. So you can see we've got our display down there. This guy's got 133,000 miles on it. I've had it for 3 years, and I've had it since 107,000 miles. So far, no complaints. It's been a good truck for me. Moving on over here, we've got our pretty standard basic radio. 2LT and 3LT model has the 6-disc CD changer, which I don't think anybody uses anymore. AM, FM radio. But honestly, what I do is I've just got a little plug-in here for a Bluetooth FM transmitter, so that way I can listen to my iPhone over the radio without having to swap it out. The 2LT comes with this right here, the digital HVAC control, which is super nice, and I don't think I could go back to a truck without it, honestly. You can just really dial in the temperature that you want. It's awesome. So there's only a few features that I use on it. You can do all the manual configurations just like any other vehicle, and I'll show you that real quick. So you can toggle, your feet, what is that, windshield, sorry. That way it's on your body, your face there. Then you can do it to where it's on your feet and your face, or just down below. But mostly what I use, oh yeah, and your fan controls up here, your fan speed. And then of course down here, this is your power button, your recirculate, air condition button, your front windshield, and then we've got our power heated mirrors on the side there. But mostly what I do is I just push this guy, put it on auto, and then once you do that, all you do is you dial in your temperature up here, what you want it to be, and then you can also do that for your passenger over here. And it will automatically adjust based on the internal temperature and the external temperature where it thinks it needs to blow that air in order to get you to that comfortable temperature. So honestly, whenever I jump in here, I just leave this guy on all the time. So I push my auto button, and then I change my dial if I'm hot, cold. I usually leave it somewhere around 75, and the truck does the rest for me. I don't have to worry about it. So like I say, I can never go back to anything besides this. We've got some storage up here in the middle. We got a compartment here, a cigarette plug here, and a 12-volt plug here. And then we've got some more storage, 2 cup holders right here, more storage. Of course, you've got a compartment in here. Got your glove box, which I've got full of napkins. And then going up above, of course, we've got our visors. Passenger side has the mirror in it. We've also got our dome lights here that you can push, and you can also toggle these different directions. Got some more storage up here. Usually put my sunglasses in there. Auto dimming rear view mirror with a compass built in and temperature display, and then of course OnStar if you want to use that. I'm not a subscriber personally. But yeah, that's just a quick overview. Oh yeah, and let me show you guys too. We do have on the 2LT and 3LT 8-way seats here. Okay, so that was just a real quick, brief look at the interior. If you guys do have any questions about some of the dash functions or whatnot, there are several different settings you can play with on here, such as your average fuel economy, your engine oil life, all that sort of fun stuff. If you've got questions about it, just leave them in the comments and I can answer that. But what I did want to go over at this point in the video is the different trim level options that you do have. And I'm not an expert on this, so feel free to call me out down in the comments if you see something that I say wrong, and because I want this video to help people in making the best decision for themselves if they're going to buy a vehicle like this. So except for what I showed you up front, how the front looks, the 03 through the 07 Classic are all pretty much the same vehicle. Even the 99 through 02s are pretty similar in interior looks and exterior looks. 03 through the 07 just have a little more creature comforts to them. So let's just start kind of at the top and work our way down of the things that I do know off the top of my head. So the 3LT is pretty much the top trim level package that you can get. So what you're getting in there is everything that we showed in here, plus possibly a sunroof. You didn't see that just a ton, but a sunroof was an option on the 3LT, and all of them for that matter, really. But also missing from this guy here were the leather heated seats. I don't have those. I actually didn't opt for those in this vehicle because I have seen, as they age a little bit, that on the driver's side as you get out here, and this is something if you guys get to looking around, you'll see that a lot of times the leather was torn and starting to crack. So that kind of scared me off of them. I never really could find one that was in great shape to go ahead and jump on. But you've got that, the leather heated seats, and then possibly the sunroof as well. And then once we step down to the 2LT, which is where we're at on this guy, you gain the steering wheel controls, you gain the digital HVAC controls, which, like I say, to me anymore, that is a must. And then you also get the power seats over here. I think, I'm sorry, I didn't mention on the 3LT, I think the passenger also has power seats. Not certain on that though. So then if we step down to the 1LT, we're going to lose those steering wheel controls as well as the digital HVAC control. It's just a manual one. Still has dual control on each side though, even on the 1LT. And then if you go below that, you've got just your work truck, which, you know, it's pretty basic. I can't remember what year they stopped doing manual transmissions. I think you could still get a manual in those. And then, of course, you know, you just got roll-up windows. I don't even know if you have power locks on those. So this model here has the 5.3 liter V8 in it. It's the 1500 series. So you had the option of the 5.3, you had an option of a 4.8, and then you also had the option of a 4.3 6-cylinder. The 5.3 is pretty standard. That's what you see in most of them, especially the extended crew cabs. So, I mean, that's just what this one happened to have. So that's what I ended up with. Something that you do want to watch out for is if you're buying this truck, and it'll probably take you some time because these trucks are starting to get older, is rust on the rocker panels down below. What you're going to see, and this is just right below the door there, so kind of crawl under there and take a look and see if you can start seeing some paint chipping away or bubbling up. That's where rust is starting to form. It's a real common problem on these trucks, and I think eventually every one of them is susceptible to it. It's just poor design flaw, in my opinion anyway. But that's something to definitely look out for in these trucks. Otherwise, you know, the 5.3, it's a solid motor. As long as the vehicle's been taken care of, you know, I think these things ought to last 250,000 miles, I would think anyway. I know my father, his has over 200,000 miles, and he's never had a major overhaul or anything. You know, he's had to rebuild the front end, but he lives on a rough dirt road, and to me, that's to kind of be expected. Transmissions are pretty solid too, you know, as long as you guys take care of them and don't really rag on them, you know, do the interval maintenance like you're supposed to. This is a solid truck, and you really can't go wrong with it. I don't have any complaints at all. But if you guys do have questions about it, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching, guys.